Hi there, I am Docshin and welcome back to my channel. This is a relatively new channel, so thank you very much for dropping by and deciding to watch this video. If you're new here, let me introduce myself. I am Docshin. I am a medical doctor who specializes in internal medicine, and I am presently based in Bislig City, which is in the province of Surigao del Sur, which is in Mindanao. I hope you would subscribe to this channel and also click the bell button so that you would be notified of new videos that would be uploaded into this channel. Our topic in today's video would be different from the usual topics that we have been discussing in my first few videos. Today, our topic will be about money saving strategies that I actually practice. Yes, guys, I would like to share to you the money saving strategies that I practice in my daily living so that maybe you can think about it and also practice it yourselves. So, karon medyo mapahulay lang sa ta sa mga topics about COVID-19, and let's take a break from COVID-19 topics and instead we will discuss something new like financials. Actually, financial education and financial freedom is also one of my topics of interests, which I also want to share to all of you. So, maingon tag, ladok, lisod man pod aning mag-save. Kung medyo gamay ra po yun among sweldo, saan naman ipag-save? Well, all I can say is that you just have to start the habit. Start small until it will become a habit to you and it wouldn't be that hard for you to do saving money. So without further ado, let us start the 8 money saving strategies that I actually practice. So first one is to make a budget. Mao gyud na siya number 1. So ngano importante man maghimo og budget tungod kay if you make a budget, at least you know where your money is going to. No? So asa naman ni murag ang ilang joke karon daw kay ang kwarta na moagi lang daw sa imong kamot, no? After sa sweldo, after nimong dawat, mawala na din ang kwarta. So it's important that you make a budget. So ang akong practice actually is like karon, no? It's the last few days of the month. So what I do is that I list my budget for the following month, like unsay akong mga dapat bayaran. So the second tip is actually closely related to number 1. So let me say the second tip is to tithe. So tithe, no? Naamag yun na sa Bible na niingon ingon ang Ginoo nga muhatag mo sa inyong ikapulo and test me because I will unlock the gates of heaven para mubaha sa inyo ang mga blessings to the point nga dili na mo kabalo og asa ni ninyo ipangbutang ang mga bahandi or ang mga blessings, no? So number 1 is make a budget and number 2 is do tithing, no? Why do I say they are closely related? First, because that is in my case, no? Kaya nga, no, pag himo na kong budget, no? For example, for the month of May, isulat man na nako siya. Isulat na ko na siya. Ang number 1 yun na ko isulat is tithes. Din na yun, number 1. No doubt about it. Isulat na ko na siya, tithes mo. Yun na siya ang pinakauna na kong isuwat. No? Your tithes is recommended to be 10% of your budget. I mean, of your salary for the month. No? So, for example, 10,000 imong sweldo. So, ang imong tithes is 1,000. No? So, mo yun na yung pinakauna. And then, what I list next are my investments. Like, kung kailangan na ba ko mo pay sa akong mga insurance. And then, and next would be akong savings. So, na ako'y target nga savings kada month. No? And then if you receive some windfall, no, mga unexpected bonuses, ibutang na dayon na nimo sa imong savings. Dapat ang atong practice is earnings minus savings equals expenses. Dili kay mag-save na lang ta kung unsay atong mabilin. So if imo gyud na siyang i-practice nga mag-save yun and then mag-tithe, it wouldn't be hard for you anymore in the following months. Naday ko istorya about anang tithing bita. Okay, there was a time na I think I was in residency, and I think I already told you in my first few videos nga medyo gamay gyud ang sweldo sa residency. So there was a time actually nga wala ko nag-tithes kay lisod man, no? And then ang nahitabuan to kay wa ko nag-tithes, di gyud maigo akong sweldo. And then pag mag-tithes ko, maigo ra gyud ang sweldo. So naa gyud gihapon blessing ang Ginoo. And not only me experienced that, but also my sister. Naka-realize gyud mi ana nga if mag-tithes ka, paiguon ra gyud tanan sa Ginoo. I even had this experience when I was just in the quarters or the waiting area at the hospital, waiting area for on-call doctors. And then I was thinking, just thinking inside my head about pila akong ihatag nga tithes the following month. And then yeah, I decided nga kana nga amount, and then ako po to gipadak than my usual. And then did you know that after around 5 minutes na inanawag nga nag-offer o duty or racket, no? So amazing kaayo. So why don't you practice tithing and making a budget and putting tithing at the top, and then experience the blessings of the Lord in your life. So just to give you an idea, so here is my journal. So there you see, I think this is for the month of February. So ako lang i-cover. Pero number 1 is tithes yun na siya, no? Mabali manggod na siya. So that's tithes, then followed by my savings. Okay, there. Then followed by my utilities. So my telephone bills and etc. So make a budget, do tithing, donate whenever you can, because giving is the greatest multiplier. And by the way guys, kanang tithing, 10% na siya sa imong sweldo. That is just our obligation to the Lord. So wala pay labot ang atong offering, ana. What we give beyond tithing is our offering already. So ang tithing, that is just our obligation to the Lord. No, we have to give back the glory to Him. We have to give back what is due to the Lord. And then ang labaw ana mao na ang atong offering. Dili ingon kay kung nag-donate ka sa charity, may naka-amaw na to imong tithes. No, that is your offering. Ang tithes nimo ang imo yung 10% of your salary every month. So when you budget your money and then you've already allocated some amount for your tithes, so you may also want to allocate some amount for your wants, no? Pero mga simple wants lang po. Dili pod ingon na katong wants nga murag mahurot na gyud imong sweldo, because you also need to spend for your basic necessities. So mga wants na dili ra pod kaayo grabe ka elegant or luxurious. So that leads us to our third money saving strategy, which is to live within your means, no? Ang ilang magud ingon, if you cannot pay for something in cash, then you cannot afford it, no? You personally know how much you make in a month, so kabalo ka if you can afford something or not, no? So you might as well think about it a lot of times before you buy something, no? Pero of course, buying it in cash, no, katong ilang ingon nga if you cannot pay it in cash, then you cannot afford it. Sometimes lahi po na siya in those people who rely on their credit cards every day, no, or who use their credit cards during their everyday transactions. Ang kuan po na is if you cannot pay your credit card in full monthly, may you're in trouble. So dili pa gyud ka ingon na pwede salig yun sa credit card, no? When you have a credit card, you also have to pay your monthly due amount in full. You have to consider your credit card just as an extension of cash. Dili kay kuan gyud siya nga imo na lang ipamalit og bisan unsa. So third tip is to live within your means. Kung mahimo pa gyud gani, live below your means. Mao pa gyud nay pinaka the best. So now let's move on to the fourth money saving strategy that I actually practice. So number 4 is I actually set my financial goals. Because once you have your financial goals, you would be more confident and you have more of a direction. You have more motivation and a defined direction of why you are saving money. So around a few years ago, before I put up my savings account, so I first researched among the banks, and I researched about their high interest savings deposit, and then I studied each one from each bank. And actually ang na-clinch gyud ato sa ako is ang location. So I was living in Cebu City before, and I was living at the city proper. So in my area daghan gyud kaayo bangko. So I decided nga dito lang ko mo butang sa bangko pod na duo lang sa ako. So at least makasave ra pod ko og pamasahe, and then accessible ra pod ang bank sa ako. And then you name your savings, no? Mao na ilang ingon. So that is also a way of setting a financial goal. So kani ba nga savings nimo ani nga bank para ra ni siya sa unsa man siya, travel fund, or is that your emergency fund, no? Or is that your charity fund? Whatever you want to name your savings. So we will talk about emergency fund maybe in the near future in one of my future videos. So mao na, mag-set ka og financial goal para naa kay direction. So for me, my financial goal this year is to invest in some more cooperatives, no? Kay I have been looking at videos, no, nga nindot pud gyud ang cooperative as long as katong mga stable pud na mga cooperative, because they give high interest for your time deposit and your savings deposit. So that is my financial goal for this year. And aside from that, I also plan to invest or to get a health insurance this year. Kay na naman ko'y life insurance, and then with the prevailing pandemic, no, madlok man pud yun ta, especially ako na frontliner. I am very exposed to the hospital, and we don't know, simba ko lang, no, ma-expose taan ng mga nasakit sa COVID, and then mahal ra ba kayo ang pagpa-hospital sa COVID. So might as well have myself protected with a health insurance with a very good coverage for medical expenses. So that is our fourth money saving strategy. Our fifth money saving strategy would be to track your expenses. So importante gyud kay na kay ngano nagi panahon nga makaingon ko nga napamang ko'y kwarta last week dahil nganong wala naman asa naman ni adto. So aside from your budget, no, naamang kay budget, pero naamang kay, like for example, your budget for groceries is 3,000, no, and then na ay sobra 2,500, so asa to nimo gasto. So my sister also actually practices that, no? My sister and her husband, and I myself, I also practice that. Para sa yun, kung matrace nimo ang imong expenses, you do it at the end of the day. So personal experience lang, no, when we had our trip in Japan, my sister and her then boyfriend, who is now her husband, mag-account did sila at the end of the day. Pag uli na mo sa among stayhan na hotel, they would account all their expenses for the day, and they would call it financials time. So to give you an idea about how I track my expenses, I usually list it on paper and on my journal. Pero sometimes murag para dili na lang yun ako malimtan, I use the note application in my phone, and then I list it here, no, in my notes. And to give you an idea mo na siya. So for a minute lang ha. So this was in April 22. So kana lang sa ako ipakita. So that is okay. This was on April 22, and mo ni ako mga expenses during that time. So di man kaya siya maklaro. So if you see, so there. If you can read it, na ay taxi, and then taxi duha ka buog, and then tricycle. So man na paglaro ha. Okay, there. I hope it's a little bit clear. Pero mo na siya. Pero para sa'yo ninyo ma-recall, like when you went out of the house, sakay ba din kag tricycle, apil na sa lista to the very dot para makahibalo mo ug asa ni abot imong kwarta, asa na adto. And then when you analyze it at the end of the month, when you have time, you would know which areas of expenses nga dako gyud ka, like basin sa pamasahe gyud, or basin sa pagkaon, no, sige snacks ana. So di na nimo makuan, ma-adjust na pud ang imong budget. So track your expenses. So now we have reached to the number 6 money saving strategy that I actually practice, and that is to make a grocery list, no? So importante yun na maghimo gyud ka grocery list, no, even before you go to the grocery, kay lisod man kaayo na even me, I experience nga maski nag-make ko og grocery list, like 5 lang ang akong gilista, nagyud gihapoy mga pakapin, dagan pakapin. So how much more when wala tay lista, no, wala tay direction, sige lang tagkuha sa atong gusto sa grocery. So mo na ma-break yun ang imong budget. So I suggest that you make a grocery list or your list nga para sa market list before you go to the market. And one important tip is to eat first before you go to the grocery. Kaon ka daan sa balay before ka mo adto sa grocery, kay unyag lisod ka ayo kung mo grocery ka nga gutom ka. If you have observed yourself nga unahon na lang ako grocery kaysa sa mukaon, mas dako na gyud noon imong gasto, kay dagan kay kuwaon sa grocery shelves, and then after that mukaon pagyud ka. And then after eating, no, for example nikaon ka sa food court, pagtanaw nimo dagan kay pinamalit sa grocery nga actually you don't need, no, or nasobraan nimo palit. So I advise you make a list, a grocery or market list, before you go to the actual market or grocery. Our 7th money saving strategy is actually related to going to the grocery or going to the mall, no? Kung na kayo makita na ganahan ka, no? Then ganahan ka paliton pero medyo mahal, and it is not really a need, it is a want. So my practice for that is I think it over a lot of times, no? Like kung pwede pa na ako matulugan, I will do it. Dili lang dayon ko mopalit, maski makapalit ko ana. So one solid example for this is the Apple Watch, the Apple smartwatch I bought last January in Australia. So ang naitabuan na it was actually a Series 5 Apple smartwatch, and I have been wanting to get a smartwatch ever since. So Series 5 na siya. Actually pag Series 2 pa lang ganahan na gyud kay ko mopalit o Apple smartwatch, pero ako lang gyud gi-delay. If I keep on asking myself if I really need it. And then I also asked my colleagues nga na a smartwatch if unsa siya kagamit, unsa siya kanindot. Actually, initially I wanted a Fitbit because I wanted my steps to be tracked, no. So mo ito ako ragyapon gi-delay kay medyo mahal magyud to ang Fitbit that time. It was around 7,000, no, 10,000 siguro. So ako lang sa gi-delay, and then here comes the Apple smartwatch nga nindot pud gyud, no. It tracks your steps, it tracks your heart rate. So series 2 pa lang nag una-una na gyud ko mo palit og Apple smartwatch, but then I really thought about it. So eventually, no, naka-decide na gyud ko to buy a smartwatch when I went to Australia. So imagine na series 2 pa, pero nipalit ko series 5 na gyud. So I think it was about time to reward myself also for my hard work, no. And aside from that, it was my remembrance for my first trip in Australia, and we went there for my sister's wedding. So mo to think it over kung pwede nimo delay, and then as time goes by, makaingon mangud kang haganahan ka, and then you need it also, and then it would also make you feel good kay lisod man pod nga, as I said, puro na lang yun basic needs ang imong i-allot ang imong money. Kung may mo na gyud kay ginagmay, like maybe an ice cream for a month, no, so that is also to treat yourself, no. So that's my 7th money saving strategy, which is to think things over, especially when you want to buy something that is quite expensive. So we have reached to the 8th or last money saving strategy that I actually practice, and the 8th strategy is actually to utilize or make the most out of compounding interest, no. So I think for those who are not familiar with compounding interest, meaning for example, no, you have a savings account nga nag 10,000 ang imong gibutang, mo imong starting amount. So after a quarter, mo earn kita siya og 10%, for example, no. So ni-earn na siya 1,000. So 11,000 na. So dito na pud magsugod ang imong base, ang imong interest sa sunod na quarter. So kung muging siya og 10%, so muging na pud siya og 1,100. So makadako, no. So as much as possible, so for katong mga savings account nako, dili na ko na sila hilabtan as long as I don't need the money, and then para mag-compound lang na murag morol ra ang imong interest. And one thing that I also practice is I do not anymore save money, save coins in my piggy bank, no. That's what I did before actually. Nindot magud siya tan-awon, di ba? Kanang magkuha ka og mineral water bottle, and then your goal is to fill that to the brim, and after you fill it, imo na i-help, sus nindot kayo ang feeling na day kay around 1,500 nga na save for maybe a year, no. Pero I stopped practicing that ngano kay wala man siya ni earn nga naara siya sa katong mineral water bottle. So in a month, no, what I do is in a month kung daghan na siya ang coins, or for a certain time daghan na ang coins, ako yun na siya i-deposit sa bank. Usually I also do that monthly. Kung daghan ko coins, dili ko maulaw nga i-deposit na ko siya sa bank. All you have to do is just to group it in tens pod para dili maglisod ang teller. By tens man ang ilang advice. So that's what I do now. Dili na ko mag-save sa mineral water bottle kay gipatulog nimo, as in tulog ra gyud imong kwarta, no interest. But if you deposit all those coins in the bank once a month, magdala ka og coins ito sa bank, mo earn na siya maski gamay, no. And any amount is very valuable already kay una wala man na nimo gitrabahuan, it's your money working for you. So maski gamay, that is still very valuable. So those are the 8 money saving strategies that I practice personally. No, I hope you have learned a lot from this video. So to recap, the first money saving strategy practice I have is to make a budget. Second is to do tithing. Third is to live within my means, and if possible to live below my means. Fourth is I set financial goals. Fifth is I track my expenses. Number 6 is I make a grocery or market list before I actually go to the grocery or the market. And then I eat first before I go to the grocery para wala kayo ko'y kuhaon nga dili na ako kinahanglan. Number 7 is to think things over, especially when you want to buy something na medyo want nimo and medyo expensive. So think things over, and at the same time save also while you are thinking about buying that stuff. And then lastly is to utilize or make the most out of compounding interest. So that's it, guys. If you like this video, please click like, and I hope you won't forget to subscribe to my channel and also to click the bell button so that you would be notified of new videos that I will be uploading into my channel. So thank you very much for your time, and see you in my future videos. Have a nice day.